Good afternoon, it's Dottie from Full Circle Financial again, and you can see this week we have a guest. This is Ryan Doddridge from William and Doddridge, and he is going to talk today about ladybird deeds. Ryan, what is a ladybird deed, and welcome.
Thank you, Dottie. A ladybird deed is primarily an estate planning tool to avoid probate. It's generally used for clients to pass their home to their children or to their grandchildren, whoever they ultimately want to inherit. Generally speaking, I recommend it for clients with relatively straightforward family situations, getting it maybe to 2 kids or 3 kids. When we do that, however, I make my clients do it as joint tenants with rights of survivorship. And I say that because a ladybird deed is not a true will replacement for people, so we can't provide for grandkids and so on and so forth. That said, a ladybird deed does have a lot of utility and a lot of good use for clients. If my mother has a primary house and has a 401k with you and has her checking and savings accounts, she can simply put me and my siblings on as beneficiaries to those accounts. She can do a ladybird deed, and when she passes away, what we do at that point in time is we would record my mother or the client's death certificate in public records, and that essentially functions as the triggering event where that deed is now in the kids' names automatically. You don't have to go through probate. You do not need to go through an attorney. It also has the benefits of, under today's tax laws, for example, the kids would receive a step-up in basis, and so they would be entitled to all the tax savings that goes along with that. Additionally, the clients themselves are in full control of their home until they pass away. So they do not need their children's permission to sell the home. It maintains the client's Medicaid eligibility for clients facing that prospect of potentially having to go into a nursing home. This does nothing to impact that long-term eligibility. Additionally, I'm hesitant to tell clients that we should avoid probate at all costs. Back to that example where we might have 2 kids. If one child is very responsible and maybe the other child is not as responsible, and we die with an unpaid funeral bill or we die with some other kind of bill, in my experience, most of the time, the good beneficiary is now going to bear the burden of paying off those debts. Lastly, ladybird deeds are relatively new in Florida law. Ladybird deeds are only in 4 other states in the United States, I believe, whereas there's a concept that your clients might be familiar with called transfer on death deeds that are in the majority of the United States. The Florida bar is currently proposing legislation that could impact the efficacy of ladybird deeds. If they were to do that, I don't think your clients would need to be alarmed. However, I would encourage them just to check with their attorney to make sure that their current setup still meets with their intent and under their current law.
Okay, so we go to an attorney to do the ladybird deed, and you're saying that we have to go back to the attorney to undo the ladybird deed. Bird deed be done without an attorney.
No, Dottie, I don't recommend that any deeds be done without attorneys. In particular, ladybird deeds. They are complex legal documents.
All right, this is all great information, Ryan. We're so glad that you were a guest with us this week. Thank you for telling us more about ladybird deeds.
Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome.